Checkmate? Really? You often see a movie where two supposedly highly skilled chess players, um, two intellectually superior, intelligent individuals playing chess, and then surprises the other one with checkmate. Any reasonably skilled player knows that doesn't happen. There is no checkmate in chess. You don't reach that point. No semi good player would be surprised. I mean, you couldn't see the last move just before checkmate. That doesn't happen. So in real life, that doesn't happen. I was just watching an episode of The Big Bang Theory, and Sheldon is playing against another intellectual PhD intelligent individual, and I forgot who gave whom when said to the other checkmate. That doesn't make sense. I mean, so any good player would see it coming way in advance. If you watch any world championship, sometimes a player is 3, 4 significant pieces ahead, and then he resigns. If you can't see the board as if you're looking at it 5, 10 moves ahead and see it, visualize it just like you're looking at it, you can't play chess at this level. Any good chess player knows that. So it frustrates me when I see a player, in a movie or and says to the other one, checkmate. That just doesn't happen. So I want to show you a game. Very interesting. Let's take a look at this situation here. The white has his king on c5, his queen on d8, his two rooks on a4 and b4, a bishop on h5, a knight on f5, and two pawns on f2 and d3. The black has his king on h7, queen f7, rook f3, bishops on d1 and h2, knight e2, and four pawns on d5, e6, f6, and g6. This is when the black resigned. He saw what's going to happen in 9 moves. The ninth being the checkmate, which theoretically, of course, never happens. In fact, he saw that he has no option but to accept sacrifices by the white, who's going to give away all his pieces free: the queen, the rooks, the bishop, the knight. He is going to end up with nothing but one single pawn. And while the black still has his rook and queen and several pieces, with one single pawn, the white will win. Can you visualize it? This is the move when the black resign. The first move here in this finale is the white is going to move rook to b7. He is attacking the queen. The queen cannot move away because he would expose the king. And any other move, the rook would take the queen, checkmate, because here is attacked by the knight, and so is here, both h6 and g7. So the first move is, as we said, the rook from b4 to b7. And the black has no choice but to accept the free gift. Queen takes the rook. Black queen takes the white rook. The second move is bishop to g6 and check. Bishop to g6 and check. That means this bishop here, because this is g6. Bishop to g6 takes the pawn here and check. And the king has no option but to take the bishop. He cannot move to h6 or to g7. Both are checked by the knight. And of course, the 8th row is checked by the queen. So again, another free major piece. The white gives away. The king takes the bishop. Move number 3. Queen to g8 and check. Again, there is no other option for the king but to take the free knight. If he cannot go here, checked by the knight, or here by the queen, his only other option is to go here in h5. But if he does, rook on a4 would move to h4, checkmate. This is what would happen. If the king comes here, it's checkmate. So the king has no option but to take the knight. Did you see it yet? Now, the move number 4 by white, queen to g4 and check. Queen to g4 and check. And there is no other option for the king but to move to e5. Move number 5. Queen h5 and check. If the black moves his pawn on f6 to f5, that would be a checkmate by the queen moving to h8. Of course, it's too obvious. That's not going to happen. The only other option left is for the rook to move to f5. Move number 6, f4 and check. This is f4. That means the pawn moves here and a check. If the black takes his pawn with the knight, the white would come here, give him a check with the rook. He has to accept it. He moves his pawn from d3 to d4 and a checkmate. So the black has to take it with the bishop. It just delays the inevitable. Surely you see it. Surely you see it now. Fantastic, isn't it? Now the queen takes the knight and check. There is no other option but for the bishop to take the queen. The rook goes to e4 and check. And there is no option but for the pawn to take it and checkmate. The black has his queen, he has a rook, he has a bishop, and another bishop, and pawns. All the white has is a pawn. Here is the conclusion again in a 2D presentation, and the point of the game is theoretically, or perhaps I should say practically, there is no checkmate in chess. I don't remember the last time I gave somebody a checkmate, or I heard a checkmate, or somebody gave me a checkmate. Maybe back when I was 4 or 5, which is what, 20 years ago.